welcome to the very last part of GISRUK, which is the closing ceremony. So thank you very much for all coming today. In terms of what we're going to do for the next half hour, first thing we're going to do is vote for the best paper prizes, and then when we're voting, we'll talk about. I'll pass you over to Johnny, and he's going to talk about what's happening next year, the GISRUK 2020, which is the 30th anniversary of GISRUK. So it's going to be a really big event. Then after that, we're going to come back to the prizes, and hopefully by then we voted and I would have totted up all the scores. I'm going to pass you over to Adam Dennett from CASA, who's going to talk about the best paper on the spatial analysis. And then we're going to have the three papers, GISRUK prize papers. So the best long paper, and there's 44 to choose from. The best short paper, there's 24 to choose from. And the best early career research paper, where there's 37. And that just goes to show that over half the papers this year were by early career researchers. So it just show how important GISRUK is for developing people's careers in GIS. And then it's a final goodbye. So in terms of voting, so put it in the chat. So vote for your best long, short and early career research paper. Have a look on the conference proceedings page on the website to remind yourself. The papers are in the order that they were presented, because quite often you think, oh, I like the paper that I saw yesterday. And so that's why they're in that order, so you can identify the day that you saw the paper on. So vote for them. In terms of early career researcher paper, they will appear twice. So they'll appear in the long and short papers and also in the early career researcher. We've decided that the early career researchers can only win one prize. They can't win the best long paper and the best early career researcher paper. So if an early career researcher wins the best long and short paper, and they also come top in the early career research paper prize, we'll choose the second person in the early career research prize who's come second for that. You have 5 minutes, so I'll switch it off after I've given the thanks to everybody, and then I'll time to tot up the results. And please only vote once. Don't keep on voting for yourself. I will, there is an indication when that happens and you'll be disqualified. So just vote the once. So in terms of thank you, there's quite a few people I want to thank for making this such a successful GISRUK. First of all, I really need to thank my colleagues in WISERD, the Welsh Institute of Socioeconomic Research and Data, who helped host and moderate this conference. So Chloe MacDonald, Katie Dixon and Sam Jones. So real good thank you for them. It wouldn't have been possible without their help. I also want to thank the chairs. I'm not going to list them. Hopefully you're all there. I'm not going to go through them. You know who you are. Again, you really helped make the session the success it was by helping out with the moderators within each of the sessions and asking really interesting questions. I want to thank the national and local GISRUK conference committee for helping with things like the website, helping with the call for papers, vetting the papers and giving all those reviews. Those were very important. I particularly like to thank Peter Mooney, who put all the papers manually onto Zenodo. So they were up there a week before the conference, so everybody could have a look and choose which papers they wanted to see. So thanks again, Peter. That was a really good of you. I know that was you took quite a bit of time over that. And I want to thank our three keynote speakers, Samaya Dodge, Peter Atkinson and Sarah Lindley, for some three really good papers. That was very enjoyable. And I want to thank all the presenters and all the authors, because without you, there wouldn't be any GISRUK. So the 68 presenters and the 161 authors of the papers that were presented today, and also all the delegates. So we had over 700 people on Eventbrite, and we're going to look at the stats later on to see how many of those came, but we know that a lot of people came. So at the keynote speaker presentations, there was well over 100 people in each of the presentations, which is brilliant. And I was keeping an eye on the people in the sessions I was hosting, and there was an average of 60 people in those sessions. So it's been a really good conference in that respect. I'd like to thank our sponsors too. So a sponsorship from the Ordnance Survey, that's Nick Groom, and Esri, that's Addy Pope. Of course, this year it's been a low-cost conference because it's been online, but the sponsorship is really valuable to help keep those costs down and help to keep this year's conference free of charge. So again, thank you for those organisations and for their continued support of GISRUK. They've supported us for years, and hopefully they'll keep on supporting us. I'm now going to hand you over to Johnny, who is going to talk about what's going to be happening in GISRUK over the next 12 months and in terms of its anniversary and the conference next year.
Thank you very much, Scott. So there's a lot of thank yous gone around there. The biggest one, of course, goes to Scott. There's lots of ways to measure the success of a conference, but I think by any measure, this has been a spectacular year for GISRUK. It's been, a difficult one to organise for Scott, being completely online, but we've had 68 papers, 760 delegates. That is the most delegates we've ever had at the GISRUK. So this is, I believe, the biggest we've ever had. So huge well done to Scott. And a huge thank you to everyone who was involved in the organisation and everyone who came and supported GISRUK. It's really important that we're able to do this every year. It's a great way to keep the field together, and it's been a very enjoyable time. I've had a great week, and I hope everyone else has too. GISRUK is the largest and oldest GIS research organisation, and we're celebrating our 30th conference next year, which is something we're hopefully going to be able to have a few activities around, which is great. But it's certainly not something that's getting stale. For the last 12 months, we've had a bit of a bumper year. We've had two very big conferences, one in London and one in Cardiff, both online, of course. But we've also had lots of other activities going on. We've expanded our steering committee, the National Steering Committee, which I chair, which has been fantastic. We've got loads of great members. We now have PhD students represented on the committee as well. Early career researchers and up and coming students are something that GISRUK has always been very keen to support, and being able to get them on the committee and have them start influencing and steering the way GISRUK moves forward over the coming year and coming years is really important. And we're very glad to have them involved with us. We've also really extended the activities that we do. GISRUK traditionally has just been this conference. Peter Mooney, who's already had a few mentions, has been very busy this year and launched the first ever GISRUK seminar series this year. So that's a new series that's going to run perpetually. We started with Professor Elena Demidova from the University of Bonn a few months ago, and keep your eyes peeled on the mailing list and on the website for more information about up and coming seminars held by GISRUK. And indeed, if you've got suggestions or ideas for people you'd like to see speak, then please do let us know. As Scott mentioned, we've got a new system for our proceedings. Over the history of GISRUK, these have changed a bit from the, originally were books, then they were kind of published rather informally as papers. Now everything's going through a system called Zenodo, which means every GISRUK publication now has a DOI. And we're starting a process of retroactively adding DOIs to previous publications as well. So please keep your eyes out for that, and let us know if you have any questions or anything about previous publications and when they're going to appear online. So I'm not going to talk for too long, but I just wanted to let you know GISRUK is continuing onwards and upwards. And if you'd like to get involved in the organisation beyond attending the conference, please do drop me an email, chair@gisruk.org, I'd be delighted to hear from anybody, no matter what career stage or whatever you would like to do. But I'm sure the question on everybody's lips currently is, where are we going to go next? Where are we going to celebrate our 30th year? And it's with great pleasure that I can welcome Kate Robinson and Fran Darlington Pollock, who are going to tell you all about it. So over to you, Kate and Fran.
Thanks very much, Johnny. A huge thanks to Scott and the team at Cardiff for organising such a fantastic conference this year. Fran and myself are part of the Geographic Data Science Lab in the Department of Geography and Planning at the University of Liverpool. We're very excited to be hosting GISRUK in 2022 in Liverpool, which I believe will also be GISRUK's 30th anniversary, so there's a lot to celebrate there. So GISRUK was last hosted in Liverpool in 2013, which is almost a decade ago now. And for those of you who weren't part of GISRUK then, so especially the early career researchers amongst you, Liverpool is a fantastic city to visit. It's a port city, noted for its beautiful architecture and fantastic cultural, arts and music scenes. And we're very much looking forward to welcoming you to visit the city, hopefully in person in 2022. So I'll hand over to Fran, my co-chair.
So it is going to be a great honour to host everybody for the 30th anniversary, 30th years of GISRUK, and we in the Geographic Data Science Lab are really looking forward to doing that. And for those of you who don't know who we are, we work at the intersection between data science and geography. We've got research interests spanning a whole host of disciplines, so econometrics, spatial analysis, spatial statistics, demography, population and health geography, and computer science. And we use traditional, new and emerging forms of data in a geographic data science framework to look at all kinds of things like dynamics, composition and complexity of cities, regions and populations. So this kind of thing is really at the heart of what we do, and supporting GISRUK is a really exciting thing for us to be doing too, and for it to be coming back to Liverpool. So we're really looking forward to welcome you all. That's basically us for 2022, and we'll see you next year.
Thanks, Fran, and thanks, Kate. Yeah, it sounds really exciting, and hopefully we can all meet face to face and get back to normal. So without further ado, I'm going to move on to the next bit, which is the award. So the first of this prize, we have four paper prizes, and the first of this prize is a very special prize presented by UCL CASA, and I'll replace you with Adam Dennett from the Bartlett Centre for Advanced Spatial Analysis and CASA, who can explain the prize and explain who's been awarded it this year.
Great, thanks, Scott. Hi, everyone. Nice to see. Well, I say nice to see you all. I can't see anyone at all at the moment. Nice to kind of. I can see everyone in the attendees list, and it's always good to be here. And thanks to Scott and colleagues for another fantastic GISRUK conference. I mean, every year is my favourite conference, and I don't think this year has been any different. Different scenario, and hopefully next year, looking forward to going out to Liverpool and seeing everyone face to face. So for those of you who don't know, CASA, we're the Centre for Advanced Spatial Analysis at UCL, and every year since 2010, we've given away a prize for the best paper on spatial analysis in memory of Junior. So Junior was a PhD student and researcher in CASA. Unfortunately, he passed away a number of years ago. And this prize has been given in his memory ever since. So Junior was a very popular and valued colleague. And this year, actually, we lost another member of the CASA family. And it's worth just, particularly as GISRUK this year is hosted by Cardiff, Joel Dearden, who was another PhD student and previous researcher in CASA, also passed away this year. So we'd like to remember Joel as well at this point. I'd like to thank very much my colleagues who have helped with the judging of this paper. So Andy Hudson-Smith and John Reeds had the mammoth task of shortlisting the top 4 papers, and my colleague Juanfer Chen was tasked with being the judge of the final best paper in the conference. So I'd like to hand over to Juanfer, who's going to say a few words on the best paper before presenting it. And I should say the prize this year is, I think, £150, and the immense crystal, or something similar to crystal, CASA trophy, which will be winging its way to whoever wins. So I'll hand over to Juanfer.
Hi everyone, I'm Hanfa Chen. I'm a lecturer in spatial data science at CASA. And I'm very honored to announce the CASA best paper for spatial analysis this year. So the winner is Mingxu Chen and Yunzhi Liu from University of Liverpool and UCL, due to their paper and presentation on profiling the dynamic pattern of bike sharing systems using the case study of city bike. So nice work and nice presentation. Congratulations.
Mishu, would you like to say something? If you'd like to say a few words about your prize.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah, I can't think of to get this prize. I just try to do my best to give a presentation. Yeah, that's a big gift for me. Yeah.
That's
and
great.
thanks so much for the panelists. Yeah, and Yunzhi and I will try to continue to give better work in the future. Yeah.
Yes,
Thanks so much.
We'll be watching very carefully to see what comes next. Yeah, so thank you for your fantastic presentation, and well done to all the runners-up as well. I've certainly not seen any bad presentations at GISRUK. It's been an excellent conference, so well done to everybody.
So the results are now in for all three papers. So we've got a clear winner for the long paper, a clear winner for the short paper, and we've got joint winners for the early career research credit. So I think we should have two for that one, because actually they've been so brilliant papers this year. I can understand why it's been difficult to decide. So without further ado, so the prizes are, it's £100 voucher. So that's the prize. I want to say book token, but that makes me sound old. So it's a £100 voucher to spend at your favourite bookstore, whether that's virtual or physical. So best long paper, and this got the most votes, goes to paper number 23, Victoria Holden, Naturally Urban, Tackling Inequalities in Urban Green Space and Wellbeing. So well done. I don't know if you're here, Victoria. I'll see if I can find you in the list. You are. I'll let you talk.
Oh, yeah. Hi, great. Thanks, everyone. That's a huge surprise. Yeah. It's like, I'm really passionate about this work, and it's a really big part of my research as a whole. So yeah, this means a lot. Thank you, everyone. That's fantastic. Great,
thank you. I mean, what happened is we'll get in touch afterwards for your details to send you the book token.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so that was the best long paper. The best short paper is, pause for effect, when I bring it up online. It's paper number 53, Nikki Tanu, Geographic Historical Telephone Directories to Understand Innovations, Diffusion and Social Change. If I can find you. Paul Long, will be pleased. Don't know if Nikki's here. No, I don't think she is here. But we'll get in touch. I'll take the prize for her, and I'll make sure the person gets it. And finally, the best two, because this is joint winners, the best two early career researcher papers. So the first one is number 65, Jess Hepburn, Do We Need Legends? An eye tracking study. I actually watched this one and it was fascinating. So Jess, well done. I don't know if you're here. Yes, I let you talk. I've just unmuted you. So if you want to say something, Jess, it was a very good paper, actually. I thought it was fascinating what you've done with the eye tracking technology.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed GISRUK and I really enjoyed talking at it. So yeah, thank you. That's
brilliant. And last of all, the final paper, who's won jointly with Jess, is, I'll try not to blush here, Number 48, Caitlin Hafferty. Geoinformation tools for stakeholder engagement in environmental decision making, best practice recommendations for a UK case study. Well done, Caitlin.
I wasn't expecting that at all. I've never won anything in my life. That's great.
Oh.
Thank you.
Well, you've won a book token now, so well done.
Yay, book token.
So I mean, there were some brilliant papers this year from young researchers this year. Early, in terms of PhDs and also master's students. This should to show how master's dissertations how good they are. So hopefully we'll see you next year in Liverpool, Jess and Caitlin. Okay, so that's it really. There's not much more to say apart from thank you very much for joining us all this year. We weren't quite sure how it was going to be as an online conference, whether it would attract a lot of people, but it has. It's been amazing. With some amazing papers. So again, thank you very much for joining us, and hopefully see you all next year in Liverpool. So yes, thank you.